effectiveness, as we are doing every Sunday, inshallah ta'ala. And tonight's hadith is short, and it's probably a hadith that's already been said a few times and explained. I'm going to try to give a different perspective, inshallah ta'ala. يروي ابن ماجه في سننه بسند صحيح عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اكلفوا من العمل ما تطيقون فإن خير العمل أدومه وإن قل وفي رواية أخرى أن أحب الأعمال إلى الله أدومها وإن قل. Tonight's hadith is narrated in the collection of Ibn Majah with a sanad that is authentic on behalf of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who narrated that the Prophet ﷺ said, take up as many of deeds as you can, as you're able to, for indeed the best of deeds are those that are consistent even if they're little. And in another riwayah, that the best of deeds or the most beloved of deeds to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those that are consistent even if they're little. And I'm sure this hadith has been talked about, but I'm going to talk about it in a different perspective, inshallah ta'ala. Usually when this hadith is talked about, it's talked about in quantity. When people do actions, and make sure that you do the action even if it's little, meaning you're doing little quantities of it. But action is not just about quantity, it's also about quality. And quality is very important, right? When we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not just the fact that the mere actions of prayer, it's the quality of the prayer that matters. And so we need to be consistent. And the key point here of this hadith is consistency. And so inshallah ta'ala, the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves consistency, that's enough reason for us just to be consistent. We don't need any other reason. The fact that Allah loves consistency, we do it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because He loves it. Fortunately for us, because of Allah's mercy, Allah doesn't ordain or command or love things that are not good for us. Anything that is ordained for us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set for us, is actually beneficial for us out of His mercy subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you may think something is hard or difficult, but that's best for you because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose what's best. Now, in light of productivity, right? We're going to, even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us, we're going to do it regardless. But how does this relate to productivity? Businesses spend millions and millions of dollars trying to improve the productivity and efficiency of their people, of their processes, of their systems, of their equipment, of their machines. They spend millions and millions of dollars. And the crux of efficiency and productivity in businesses is consistency. If you are able to understand what you're going to get and when you're going to get it, from a business perspective, from a productivity perspective, that's a successful business. And so a process or a person's performance that is consistent, that person or process is far more superior than one that is not inconsistent. So there's a consistency gives you excellence. I'll give you a quick example. If I claim to be the best basketball player in the world, and somebody says, well, no, there's a guy named Michael Jordan. Say, well, I'm going to play Michael Jordan. So we each shoot a foul shot. And we both get the foul shot in. Can I claim that I'm as good as Michael Jordan? I can't claim that. I want to claim it, but I can't claim it. And the reason why I can't claim it is because it's not about getting the shot in. It's about consistently and repeatedly getting the shot in. And so while Michael Jordan may get it 90% of the time, I definitely will not. And so what makes people the best of the best, the cream of the crop, is consistency. As they say, consistency is king. Consistency is king. Now, for us, for our actions, there are many actions that we can do, deeds that we can do that we could be consistent in. But I'm going to talk about it from the perspective of productivity. For us to be productive, we have to invest in ourselves. We have to learn, we have to attain skills and increase our knowledge. Okay? So in order for us to be as productive as possible, we need to invest in ourselves. And we need to do it consistently. The most effective way to learn, whether it's a skill or a language or attain knowledge, is to learn something over time, even if it's slow, but it's steady over time. And to give you a quick example as well, if you have two students, one that studies the night before for an exam and crams everything in, and one that doesn't study the night before the exam, but has been studying half an hour a day for the past month, they may both pass the exam, but ask them a month or two later, who remembers what they studied? The person who crammed definitely will not remember most of what they've studied. While the person who learned slowly a little bit at a time, we'll remember for a lifetime. And this is where things become productive. If you learn something and you want to be productive, you want it to stay with you so that you can implement it and practice it, you need to do it slowly and over time. It's better than cramming it in. And many people are probably taking courses where they're loaded with information for 1 or 2 days. They don't use that skill, and in a month they don't remember anything. Okay? And so the take-home message with respect to investing time in ourselves slowly and gradually so that we can become more effective people. If we took half an hour a day before we slept, or whenever, when we're free, since COVID started till now, that's about 4 years. Can you imagine 4 years ago COVID started? It doesn't feel like 4 years, but it's 4 years. If you invested half an hour of your time reading a book, you would have spent till now about 1,000 hours reading. And if you took 10 hours per book, that's 100 books. And based on scientific research, 3 to 5 books on a subject, you become proficient in that subject. So that's 20 subjects that you and I could have been proficient at had we read half an hour a day since COVID started. Imagine 20 subjects in terms of parenting, if you're a parent, Islamic sciences, Quran, politics, environment, history, economics, leadership, all sorts of skills. Imagine 20 areas you would have been proficient at. Right? All it takes is slow application of half an hour, and I'm sure most of us probably spend half an hour doing this. Right? Can we replace that half an hour with something that slowly over time can reap significant benefits, such that we can become resources for our community in different areas, so we can be comprehensive in our understanding and have thaqafa, have strong knowledge, and then we can move our community. So I hope that was beneficial. Inshallah ta'ala, we can become consistent. This is the keys, consistency, as the Prophet ﷺ said. يروي ابن ماجه في سننه بسند صحيح عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اكلفوا من العمل ما تطيقون فإن خير العمل أدومه وإن قل. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم.